Hello, this is the Radio Geek from Radio Geek Blades, and today for you I've got another knife out of the traveling box of knives brought to you by Ray over at North Star Knife Reviews. This is the Ren Mu 1161. It's a flipper knife. It has 14C28N blade steel. It has steel handles, which are made out of 3CR14N. The blade length is 3 5/8 inches. The total length is 8.5 inches. So it's a pretty long little knife. Well, not so little, I guess. It weighs 4.85 ounces. It does have some milling inside. I don't know if I can get a right angle that you can see that, but there's some milling out there on this scale to make it a little lighter. It's got an interesting design in that it's got these kind of hollow pivot and screw here on the back. These are the only two things that are screwed in on it. The pocket clip looks as if it could be reversible, but on closer inspection it looks like it is not. It looks like there is a recess here in the handle for the pocket clip to fit in, whereas on this side there is nothing there. So it might be possible to put it on the other side, but it's probably going to stick out a little bit more. And speaking of pocket clips, this pocket clip is extremely tight. I suppose you could remedy that. Maybe you could, bend it out a little bit, but it fits on a pair of jeans. It really fits on there tight, and it gets to about right here, and it doesn't really want to go any further because it's starting to really catch down here. So you really have to push on it to get it to go up in this area, and then getting it out of your pocket is a problem because it's really tight here and it's hard to slide in and out of the pocket. So I guess that's what I'd say about it, is it's a little hard getting it in and out of the pocket. It does have this blue, it looks like anodized aluminum back spacer, and I don't think there's any kind of a lanyard hole. I suppose you could run a lanyard through this this nut here. It has an interesting feature in that it's got this little slide lock, so that when the knife is open, it's a liner lock, and you have to move this over, to get the blade to close, right? But if you have this little slide slid forward, then you can't open it, so the blade can't disengage. So that's a little extra there, so it has to be in the unlock position to be able to close the blade. Now this is like a bar style lock, so when you're flipping it, you've got to be mindful of where your hand is. You don't want to be pushing in on this bar, because then it's not going to deploy. But even with that, I usually put my hand on the pocket clip like so and try to flip it. Even so, the detent on it is a little stiff. You kind of have to play with it a little bit and get used to it. It's kind of looks, I think it works better if you kind of go towards the middle to top with your finger when you flip it. It seems to work better than if you have your whole finger like this. It doesn't seem to want to go because the detent is so strong. But if you get up here on it on the tip, then it seems to work a bit better. Now this has got a, I guess, kind of a Tanto style blade, Tanto blade. That's I guess what they call the Japanese style. It's a really sleek looking knife, and it's kind of a neat look to it with that blue spacer and the minimal screws and branding on it. It just says 1161 there, and I think that's like a 1161 and then like a serial number or something there, and then it does have the blade steel, I don't know if you can see that or not, in the corner. Got reflections of light here in the corner there. So there, maybe you can see it now. Having trouble with it wanting to focus there for some reason. But anyway, all in all, it's a pretty nice knife. It's not bad, although I don't like how it opens the flipper. It just seems like you gotta get it in just the right spot, and it takes a little bit more effort than I'd like to see in a flipper knife to deploy it. And the pocket clip seems to be rather tight as far as getting it in and out of your pocket. It looks like the lock's got maybe a 50% or so lock up on it. But you know, disengaging it with one hand with your thumb, you've got plenty of room in there to access it and slide it over, and then you can just use your index finger and you can get it to unlock and close without much effort. It's just, I think the deployment, the detent, I think is a little strong. But with a little practice, you kind of get used to how it is. You know how it is. Every knife operates a little bit differently, and then if you use it for a while and you get used to how this particular one is, it probably becomes second nature. But I know that I've had other knives, like I've got this here Felissa knife, and it is a flipper, and it just comes flying out of there, no problem. Doesn't matter where on the flipper you are, and it takes a lot less effort to deploy than this particular knife here, the Ren Mu 1161. So anyway, that's my observations on this knife. All in all, I think it's, you know, it's a nice knife. It's got a really sleek design. It's an attractive knife. It's got a little weight to it, you know, being 4.85 ounces. That's a little bit hefty. But yeah, so I guess you know, it just depends on what you're looking for. For me, I would say that the tight pocket clip, which I suppose you could bend out and fix that, but you know, obviously I'm not doing that. This is not my knife. And the flipper, I don't think there's much you can really do about that. You could perhaps maybe loosen the pivot a little bit, but I don't know how much that would change it. This seems like the detent is just pretty strong on this guy. But anyway, this is the Ren Mu 1161. So until next time, this is the Radio Geek from Radio Geek Blades.